Right now at 10, a look at the Memorial Day celebrations and services across the region. And a long-standing Memorial Day tradition, giving back to others one burger at a time. Plus the latest in a truck explosion in suburban Chicago.
Watching WKBT La Crosse, this is News 8 Now at 10.
Good evening, happy Memorial Day, and thank you for joining us for News 8 Now at 10. I'm Emily Brown. Ken is off today. Today in La Crosse, residents line the streets to honor fallen soldiers. The annual Memorial Day Parade in La Crosse is a tradition more than a century in the making. Bands from area high schools march, and veterans from surrounding towns are honored for their service. Vietnam veteran Kenneth Iverson has never missed a parade. He says the day is very special to him.
I really feel glad now that the people that came back from the most recent conflicts that we've had have been recognized and appreciated, where years ago the majority of us weren't.
The parade concluded with a service at Oak Grove Cemetery. Congressman Derek Van Orden celebrated Memorial Day in Sparta, first giving keynote remarks to fellow veterans at a ceremony at Blyton Veterans Park, then participating in a wreath-laying ceremony at VFW Post 2112, honoring Navy sailors lost at seas.
For the younger generations looking at us old war dogs now, they need to know that if they decide to grow up and they decide to serve our country in uniform and they unfortunately lose their life, that their families will be taken care of and their memory will always be a blessing.
Van Orden says today is a day for all Americans to come together. Well, this year's Honor Ride had motorcycle engines roaring across Wisconsin. The 15th annual ride brought veterans and civilians together to honor those who have served. Riders from around the state traveled to the high grounds in Neillsville for the Day of Remembrance.
In honor of veterans, we take our time, come together, and come to places like this, and remember the people that have given their last effort and their final bit of devotion to the nation.
All proceeds from the ride go toward programs for veterans and their families. Governor Tony Evers ordered all flags at half-staff this morning. Each year, flags across the state are lowered from sunrise to noon. In a statement, Evers said, "We solemnly pay tribute to service members throughout our nation's history who have given their lives in service of the freedoms, principles, and values we hold dear." It's a burger stand that served up more than food this Memorial Day. News 8 Now's Allison Fergott stopped by Prairie du Chien earlier today for the story.
For the last 50 years, on every single Memorial Day, Pete's Hamburger Stand right here in Prairie du Chien donates all of their proceeds to local charities.
The idea started after the owner's relative thought it would be a good way to honor the veterans within their family. On top of the money made from sales, none of the workers take home paychecks to help boost the donation. Since the fundraiser started, Pete's has donated hundreds of thousands back to the community.
For many, many years, we've given to the Eagles and Heart Cancer Telethon, the food pantry in town, Paula's Purse, through Gunderson.
The family says it's their small way of saying thanks to the community that's kept them in business for the last 116 years.
Now, Pete's is usually only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but for Memorial Day, they made an exception. They will also be open the Monday of Labor Day. Reporting in Prairie du Chien, Allison Fergott, News 8 Now.
Americans are celebrating the holiday across the country, marking the day with parades and flowers along New York Hudson's Bay. Wreaths were placed in the river and service members unfurled a giant flag. Overhead, a salute in the symbolic missing man formation, a single aircraft splitting away.
I always remember my brothers and sisters who never came home. I did 3 tours. On the first one, 2 men did not come home. We got lucky the second time, and on the third one, a man died also.
At Washington's Vietnam Memorial and in a parade along Constitution Avenue, tributes and salutes to those who fought for their nation and never made it home. Well, a cool, dry Memorial Day weekend. We had a lot of sun, but it was one of those weekends where you could have been outside all day and not had broken a sweat at all, because it was nice and mild out.
Pretty much it was. We just had cool conditions. Actually, it was the 9th coolest Memorial Day weekend we've had since like the late 70s. So it helps that our overnight lows were in the 30s to 40s. Now that's not going to be the case going forward. We're in mild conditions because we have a system that will be approaching cloud cover tonight. It's going to be followed by rain as we go until late in the morning. All that activity out to the west looks more impressive than what's going to go on across our area, but it's a little upper level low that's sitting just to our west. So overnight cloud cover continues to increase, and that's really going to be the story. Temperatures will hold up. A few showers may approach western areas by 2 or 3, but by the time we get to the morning commute, I think most activity will still remain west of the river. Then as we go throughout, we'll start seeing some of that spread eastward. So nothing like we saw last Tuesday morning. If you remember that was light to moderate rainfall. We're going to be spotty rainfall, but it is going to be milder given the cloud cover overhead too. As you look at the temperatures there for La Crosse, getting only up to 64. That rain chance really in the morning, but it's not heavy rains each hour. The chances are still not that impressive each hour, but you may need the umbrella and obviously the wipers going on. Otherwise, for Eau Claire, it's a little bit later in the morning that activity will begin to approach, and then those chances start increasing a little bit. Still getting up to about 64 at noon after starting in the low 50s compared to the low 40s or upper 30s. So we'll kind of break down what the showers look like going through Wednesday and eventually what we're going to see going into Thursday and Friday. And yes, that means 80s are coming back. And if you're looking for another great weekend, we might have a second one in a row coming up.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Greg. In England, a celebration quickly turned into tragedy at a parade for Liverpool's Premier League soccer championship victory. British authorities say they have arrested the man they believe drove a minivan into a crowd of fans at the parade in Liverpool. Britain's Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, called the scenes appalling and thanked police for their quick response.
We believe this to be an isolated incident, and we are not currently looking for anyone else in relation to it. The incident is not being treated as terrorism.
Authorities say more than 24 people were hurt in the incident and taken to the hospital. They were rushed away on stretchers while a number of people were treated at the scene. Video shows a box truck exploding in suburban Chicago. A home security camera caught the blast. The driver was hurt but is okay. 4 homes nearby suffered some damage, and authorities say the blast was from a leaking propane tank being hauled in the truck. One of the stars of the reality show Duck Dynasty has died. Phil Robertson passed away yesterday. His family says the reality star died months after he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Duck Dynasty aired from 2012 through 2017. It followed the Robertson family and their duck hunting business in Louisiana. Robertson was 79 years old. President Trump honored fallen soldiers at Arlington Cemetery today, a day after questioning Russian leader Vladimir's recent attacks on Ukraine. CBS News' Erica Brown has more.
President Trump laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier Monday, a time-honored Memorial Day tradition commemorating the servicemen and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice. During his remarks at Arlington National Cemetery, Trump paid tribute to the fallen.
They gave everything, and we owe them everything and much, much more.
But while the president spent much of his address honoring the soldiers who have died, he raised eyebrows when portions of his speech criticized the Biden administration.
That was a hard 4 years we went through. Who would let that happen? People pouring through our borders unchecked.
The president also used his Arlington address to tout the U.S. hosting the 2026 World Cup and the 2028 Olympic Games.
We have the World Cup and we have the Olympics. Can you imagine? God did that. I believe that too.
The president's remarks come as tensions between Russia and Ukraine escalate. Russia unleashed a series of deadly attacks on Ukraine over the weekend. Ukrainian officials say at least 12 people were killed, including children, and dozens injured. President Trump addressed the attacks on Sunday.
I'm not happy with what Putin's doing. He's killing a lot of people, and I don't know what the hell happened to Putin. I've known him a long time, always gotten along with him, but he's sending rockets into cities and killing people, and I don't like it at all.
The Kremlin responded to Trump's comments, saying there is a, quote, emotional overload of everyone involved. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
President Trump spent 2 hours on the phone with Russian President Putin last week, encouraging Putin to engage in meaningful ceasefire negotiations with Ukraine. Still to come, we take a look at this month's hometown hero, a Gunderson medical doctor who's in the fight against the opioid epidemic.
Get up to 60% off list prices.
At the huge memorial sale at Slumberland Furniture.
Like a modern chaise with storage that's also a sleeper. Relax and recline for just $495. Get a Sealy Queen mattress starting at $299.
Do not miss this one.
We're an implant-focused practice. I think the advantage of a father-daughter practice is, I've been at this for 30 years now. I learned things that worked well and things that didn't work so well.
And it was fun to be able to just jump in and kind of complement that. I feel like it made both of us stronger. You don't expect it when you walk into a dental office. You don't expect the family aspect, but when you walk into our doors, we're going to give you that.
If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Or get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Or get over $5,300 total value on select Sierra 1500 models.
All new Sealy Posturepedic now at Slumberland. Get a Sealy Queen mattress for $299. Save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. Plus, get 60-month financing on Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster. The memorial sale at Slumberland.
Dr. Chris Eberlein, an emergency medical physician at Gunderson, just wants the best for his community. And he demonstrates this both in and outside the emergency room with a tireless commitment for those struggling with opioid addiction. It is why he is our May hometown hero.
Every day is different for Dr. Eberlein, and that's the way he likes it.
I really like the variety of patients. You really see a unique view of the community's health.
As an emergency medical physician for over 20 years at Gunderson Health System, he's seen it all, including the unfortunate toll the opioid epidemic has had on the community.
There's a small group of us initially that got together and decided we need to do something.
That was the beginning of the Heroin Task Force, now called the Alliance to Heal, an organization that helps individuals suffering from the impacts of opioids. But Dr. Eberlein took it a step further. He advocated for easier access to Narcan, a medicine that reverses the effects of opioid overdoses, making the medicine available behind the counter at Gunderson and Deegan Berglund pharmacies. There, you don't need a prescription to get it.
I thought that if we could expand this access, it would significantly impact the deaths that I was seeing and the overdoses I was seeing in the emergency department.
Eberlein says resuscitation with Narcan can give the patient a chance at a new life.
We knew that if we could extend people's lives long enough, that there's a fairly large subset of them that will make it to treatment.
He even worked with state legislators to allow Narcan to be left behind with people who were resuscitated but refused to go to the hospital afterwards.
I saw this as a real lost opportunity for these patients.
A hometown hero, but also a superhero. He was recently awarded the Superhero Medicine Award by the Wisconsin Medical Society for his genuine commitment to wanting the best for his community.
He wants to know how people are doing. He's wanting to understand what barriers people have. It takes a lot of love to be able to do this work.
And his hopes are that more medical communities follow suit, offering life-saving remedies in and out of the emergency room.
I really want to make sure that our EMS system is and continues to be a model for the entire country.
If you know someone who is doing good works in your community, we invite you to nominate them for our next Hometown Hero Award. Just go to our website, news8000.com, and click on the Features tab. Still to come, 50 years after Jaws, one swimmer faces the fears head-on with a 12-day journey.
Unfortunately, the wet conditions are coming back for Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll break down how much rain we'll see with it and when the 70s and even 80s are expected to return. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
It's weird to admit, but it's true. I'm selling Chevys. 2024 Malibus to be exact, starting at $17,890. $299 down and $299 per month. It's Malibu Madness. And they feature great options including heated seats, remote start, Apple CarPlay, and up to 36 miles per gallon. All have low miles with remaining factory warranty. But the bad part is these are getting harder to get. So if you're in the market for an affordable ride, come see us today at Chrysler Winona, Highway 61, Winona.
Celebrate summer and save big at Fleet Farm's Memorial Day Savings Event. 24 packs of our bottled water are now only $2.99. Online liquid Pool Shark 4-packs are $14.99. And a 32-quart Plano Frost Cooler is just $99.99. Plus, all active military and vets are invited to save an additional 10%, May 22nd through the 26th. Whatever you need, we've got the best prices guaranteed. And find even more deals in our weekly ad at fleetfarm.com.
Ashley for the Arts is back with 3 days of live music, festival vibes, art and craft vendors, and more, all for just $45. Join us in Arcadia August 7th through the 9th. Get your tickets at ashleyforthearts.com.
Hey, Dominic here with a quick marinade using our Steak and Game Pleasing. Mix 1/3 cup of oil with 1 tablespoon of Steak and Game Pleasing. Brush on your beef or venison and let it sit for 10 minutes. Cook until done. For a delicious dip, mix 8 ounces of cream cheese, a 1/4 cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of diced green onions, and a tablespoon of Steak and Game Pleasing. Get Steak and Game Pleasing and over 40 other blends at the Pleasing Outlet Store on Ward Avenue, La Crosse. It's a game changer.
Join today's shoppers as they explore Sweet Valley Artisans.
There's so many good things here. How do you pick just one? You don't.
I've been looking for something to hang in my garage.
What about this? Or this?
Vintage clothing and accessories? Let's check it out. Have you found anything yet? Yeah?
I'm getting hungry just looking at this. I know what you mean.
Stop in and find your treasure today.
I did know that back pain, foot pain come along with the job of waiting tables, but since getting the arch supports from the Good Feet store, I have had no pain. I'm more positive. It's like opening up a whole new life, like sunshine coming out.
See how we can help you too at the Good Feet store.
Is it time for new windows or doors? Contact the company who has done the research for you. The best windows and doors installed by the best people. Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions.
The news continues on News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, this year is the 50th anniversary of the movie Jaws, and the movie sure didn't scare this swimmer. Lewis Pugh swam around the entire Martha's Vineyard, the island where much of the movie was filmed. In 12 days, Pugh swam over 62 miles, calling it the toughest swim of his life.
Always knew this swim was going to be a tough swim, but when you put the wind and then the waves and then the distance and then thinking about what is beneath you all the time, it adds up. It becomes attritional after a while.
Researchers estimate humans kill about 100 million sharks every year. Pugh hopes the swim can change public perceptions and encourage protections for sharks. Well, there wasn't too much swimming going on this weekend. It still was a little cool for that, but Greg, hopefully next weekend?
Yeah, I guess the temperatures of the water will start warming up after all that kind of rain got through the system, kind of reduced the temperature of the water out there, but that should come back up. But yeah, we are looking at warmer temperatures, but that's till about Friday and next weekend. Until the meantime, we do have showers and some cooler temperatures coming through. So showers tomorrow and Wednesday. As I mentioned earlier, broadcast, nothing like we saw early last Tuesday morning where it really came down, steady rain all night. So we'll see that off and on. So there will be dry breaks in this 2-day period. Cooler back to the 60s only, not the 50s or 40s like last week. We come back up to the 70s, and yeah, it looks like more 80s Friday and the weekend, and that goes into early next week too. And this point, by early next week, we should be getting closer and closer to our average is 80, so that's pretty common to see. As overnight, the cloud cover continues to increase. The precipitation is going to take some time to get up here with that upper level low to the west of us. But eventually, you're going to see a little bit of activity probably by 5 a.m., but it's mainly west of the river. Eventually, some of this activity will begin to approach east of it, but it's really scattered as you see overall. Not a lot of activity. You'll probably be dry for the morning commute for a lot of activities, but you'll still probably need maybe the umbrella occasionally. The activity eventually towards late morning, early afternoon will start picking up a little bit. We're not expected to see a lot of activity even through through the afternoon hour, but still occasional showers. A little bit of uptick looks like during the daytime heating by the time we get to about 1 to 2, but it's notice that it's now kind of further west of the area. So the evening commute will be kind of wet for areas probably along the river and west and north. Further east and south you go, unlikely to see too much activity even during the afternoon hour, but a lot of cloud cover. You can see it picks up towards the evening, and then overnight Tuesday we'll probably see a drop off in the activity, maybe a little partial clearing Tuesday night before we see more clouds and precipitation come in for Wednesday. But at this point, Wednesday, really the activity is further south, mainly I-90 and southward as the low kind of tracks right overhead. So as you see, bulk of that is actually towards Illinois. That'll be the trend probably Wednesday, although there'll be a few showers further north. Higher chances are further south. That's what we'll go through Wednesday evening. Once we get to Wednesday night and Thursday, cloud cover Thursday. It'll start to decrease in the afternoon. Maybe a spotty shower Thursday, but the chance of that is fairly low. And then we'll have clearing skies eventually towards Thursday evening, more sun towards Friday. So all in all, a cloudy period more than actually precipitation, but it will keep our temperatures down. Rain amounts really looks further west and south you go, the better shot to get maybe above that 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. Otherwise, it's very spotty. If you happen to get under a couple of them, you might go above a 1/4. Otherwise, it's going to be fairly light precipitation. Nothing like we saw last week when we saw 2 to 3 inches with that system coming through there. Temperatures overall mentioned we're going to go tomorrow in the 60s, a drop off. Still a few 70s are possible given that we'll have some cloud cover and we'll start off more mild than we had this past weekend. Wednesday's 2 more showers too going on. Temperatures back into the 50s, which is about where we should be for this time of year. And then Wednesday, a little bit, maybe a degree or 2 warmer, depending on location. They could be very similar each day. Still mid to upper 60s overall, pretty average. Thursday, a lot of 70s. We'll have more sun in the afternoon. That shower chance is pretty low. I think a lot of areas will see dry and sun. And then look at Friday, a lot of 80s starting to show up, especially further west, giving an idea that we do have pretty warm conditions here, or at least mild going into it. The only thing that going on this weekend is a slight drop Saturday. We can find a cold front that may sink south into the area. So further north you go, you might actually be in the 70s Saturday briefly before we warm back up to the 80s on Sunday, and then mid-80s potentially early next week before showers, thunderstorms come back in. So the next weekend does look dry once again and bump the temperatures up a little bit.
Like you said, we weren't going to hit 80s till June.
Yeah, pretty much June 1st is coming.
You're a genius, Greg.
Oh, yes.
Thank you. Coming up in sports, Memorial Day baseball in Milwaukee. Plus, the Aquinas Blue Golds are preparing for another postseason run. Kate is in next with sports.
It's an easy puzzle to solve. The one app your phone can't live without. Bringing you local news, sports, streaming video, and a lot more. The News 8 Now app. Get it today. Oh, and good job on the puzzle.
Slow or clogged sink, toilet, or main drain? Maxwell White can help. Ask about our $99 mainline drain opening special. Includes a free camera inspection. Address the root problem now to avoid costly repairs or future damage. Call or book online today.
It's employee pricing with the Ford crew.
Employee pricing across a full lineup.
Fun fact, Hank, Ford assembles the most vehicles in the country.
Another fun fact, everyone pays what we pay.
So, you get employee pricing. You get employee pricing. You get employee pricing.
Sam.
Yeah?
Everyone gets employee pricing.
You get employee pricing.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
Furnish your home with The Forest at Black River Furniture Outlet, Wisconsin's best priced furniture store. Browse cozy Amish rockers, customizable easy sofas made in Wisconsin, and stunning handmade dining sets in hickory, walnut, aspen, and barnwood. Shop pantries, counter bars, gun cabinets, and more. Style your space this season with our cabin rug collection, multiple sizes available. Swing by the bed shed for rustic bedroom sets, bunk beds, and Amish-made office furniture. Family and veteran owned. Visit Black River Furniture Outlet this summer.
Get an 11% rebate on everything in Menards. Take on outdoor cleaning projects easily with a Husqvarna pressure washer. They have the power for making short work of any job. Get this 3,000 PSI gas pressure washer for just $339.97 after rebate. Need more power? This 3,600 PSI model lets you select pressure settings for each job with a turn of a knob. Now $429.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Sick of running out of hot water? The professionals at Maxwell White are here to handle all of your water heater needs. Our licensed technicians can install, repair, or replace any type of water heater with same-day or next-day service. Call Maxwell White, Plumbing done right.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community. Here's News 8 Now Sports with Kate Overton.
The high school spring sports postseason is ramping up, and this week the WIAA baseball begins their playoffs. A lot of teams hoping to make a run at the state tournament, and one team is going up a division trying to defend their state title. The Aquinas Blue Goals have put together yet another solid season, currently 18-3 in the regular season. They picked up 2 straight wins over Holman to clinch a share of the MVC title. 2 years ago, the Blue Goals lost in the championship game, but they got back to that spot last season and picked up a win for the program's 3rd WIAA baseball state title. But now, with their recent success, Aquinas is up in Division II. A little tougher challenge, but the team says they're focused on playing their game no matter the opponent.
Ultimately, we're not really thinking about who we're playing. It's just we're playing the game.
Just playing whoever we have to face, we just prepare and get ready for whatever comes up.
The Blue Goals have found success in many aspects of the game, but they've been a force at the plate. A team batting average of .339 with 148 RBIs.
I think definitely just the reps. We practice a lot in hitting and really making sure we're doing the fundamental stuff right to make sure that we know why we're doing stuff and why we're getting the barrel to the ball and really driving force into the ball. We got a new saying, hammer the nail. So we're trying to really hammer the ball and hit the ball with some force.
Well, the Blue Goals will look to hammer the nail in the postseason on June 3rd, hosting either Black River Falls or Bloomer. The Minnesota playoffs are heating up, and today the Caledonia Warriors took down top-seeded Cannon Falls 5-3, which means they'll advance to the section semifinal. That one's set for next week on June 3rd. And in an elimination game, the La Crescent Lancers fall short to Rochester Lords 6-3, which brings their season to an end. All right, the Brewers capped off the weekend with a win over Pittsburgh as now they turn their attention to the Boston Red Sox for a 3-game series. And Milwaukee needs to find a way to get hot if they want to keep pace in this division race. Let's go to Milwaukee. Memorial Day baseball at American Family Field. And how about Jackson Chourio? He's going to start things off with some fireworks. First pitch of the game to the Brewers, and Chourio sends it out. A solo shot puts the Brewers on top. Same score in the 5th, but Andrew Monasterio, he gets one down the line in left field. Joey Ortiz rounds 3rd. He's in to score. Milwaukee up 2. Now a 1-run game in the 8th, but with the bases loaded, Eric Haas with the slow roller to 3rd, and he's there with an infield hit. Brewers take a 3-1 lead, and it would stay that way. Milwaukee takes it 3-2, the final. The Twins down in Tampa Bay up against the Rays, down 3 in the 7th, but with a man on. Carlos Correa going to take a trip around the bases. He got all of that pitch. The 2-run shot brings the Twins within 1, but that's as close as they would get. Already with 2 runs across in the 8th, and Danny Jensen is going to add 2 more. Rays go up 5 as they would close it out 7-2, the final. And the Northwoods League is back. Tonight, the Loggers started their season on the road, taking on the Rochester Honkers. Loggers, they get the win 6-5. Their first home game of the season set for tomorrow night at Copeland Park for a 6:35 first pitch. Bangor native Ashton Mitchek expected to be on the mound. Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals wrapped up just moments ago, and this one came down to the very end. Crazy shot making on both ends, but Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams would combine for 74 points as OKC would hold on at the end, 128-126 the final. Wolves now down 3-1 in the series, and things are looking bleak. Game 5 set for Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. And we were just talking before, it's not likely you come back down 3-1. It's not impossible, but it's going to take a lot of effort.
It sure is. No, I know. We've been watching it, a diehard over here, and I know it came down to just 2 points. We thought maybe this was going to be it, but no.
At least we got the Loggers now.
We've got the Loggers tomorrow, and I just saw the time. I could go on my dinner break if I wanted to. It might rain, but hopefully we'll have clear skies. All right, Greg has a final look at your forecast right after this.
It's customer appreciation time at Wesco, and we're saying thank you with exclusive savings on furniture and bedding, and your deal is just one spin away. Every spin wins, whether you're upgrading your bedroom or furnishing your dream living room. Now's the perfect time to save in style. Your home, your style, your savings, your Wesco. Stop in and spin before this deal rolls away. And don't forget to tell them Peyton sent you.
It's employee pricing with the Ford crew.
Employee pricing across a full lineup.
Fun fact, Hank, Ford assembles the most vehicles in the country.
Another fun fact, everyone pays what we pay.
So, you get employee pricing. You get employee pricing. You get employee pricing.
Stem.
Yeah?
Everyone gets employee pricing.
You get employee pricing.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay, only from your local Ford dealer.
Big things are happening in neighborhoods all over Wisconsin where an all-new scratch game from the Wisconsin Lottery is making a splash. It is absolutely amazing. It's $2,000 loaded, a brand new $20 scratch game. It's a number match game with over 1,900 top prizes of $2,000 and over $7 million in total prizes. Now available at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
It's time to visit Jolivet Family Farms. 8 greenhouses full of a wide variety of flowers, vegetables, herbs, bulk seeds, and starters, all grown for this climate. Find unique lawn and garden accents, home decor, and accessories. Take home a treat from our scratch-made bakery with cookies, bars, breads, and pies. All this and so much more. Jolivet Family Farms, West Salem.
At Ferris, we want you to get the most out of your time and end each day feeling good. That's why we pioneered exclusive lawnmower suspension technology, allowing for full-speed mowing, even over the roughest terrain. Grow your business by getting more done in less time with Ferris. Ferris. Work hard, feel good. Found exclusively at independent Ferris dealers.
Well, before we get to the weather, hundreds of people in Britain took part in what some might call a cheesy annual tradition. In a series of races, runners chased a nearly 9-pound cheese wheel down a steep hill in southwest England. The cheese gets a head start and is nearly impossible to catch, so the first person across the finish line wins each race. The centuries-old event is known for its high risk of injury, including broken bones and concussions. There are separate races for men and women and uphill races for children. Broken bones, all in the name of a cheese wheel. All right, Greg, we'll finally have a look at your forecast right after this.
Bathroom remodeling. The Board Store is your one-stop shop for bathroom remodeling. We're a VA-approved provider for veterans as well as meeting the needs of all homeowners. Just replace the tub or shower? We offer acrylic, solid surface and tile, and all the desirable fixtures and accessories. New cabinets, sink, toilet, flooring. It's all here in our showroom. Designers who help you plan provide a clear proposal and a firm price. Carpenters, plumbers, electricians to do it right and on time. Bathroom remodeling, the Board Store. More than you expect for less than you thought.
I do like knowing the person that's sitting across from my desk. I've formed a lot of relationships over the years based on trust. When I see the look on a member's face, when I say, yes, this loan is good, you're good to go, it makes me happy. To me, being the team you can trust is honesty. When you do a loan with me at Firefighters Credit Union, like everything we do, it's not about the car, it's about you.
'Cause everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
A home you love, a business that endures. It takes your vision, your hard work, and your dedication to bring them to life. The right tools help. Case IH truly understands your vision and what you need to achieve it. That's why we build the equipment, the local dealer and service network, and the data and tech you want today and tomorrow. Because we don't just build our equipment to work. We built it to work for you.
Visit any of your local Johnson Tractor dealerships, now including La Crosse and Richland Center.
Chevy makes affordable vehicles that help you enjoy life. Get more for less in the Chevy Trax. Maximize every mile in the all-electric Equinox. and power through with the capable Colorado. Enjoy endless possibilities and your new Chevy. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing on all 2025 Equinox models. Plus, get no monthly payments for 90 days when you finance with GM Financial. Visit HometownChevy.com.
Wow, Forest Berry Fudge is amazing. Mmm, this is melting in my mouth.
Dill pickle? Whoa, that's actually good.
Holy fudge. This is the best thing ever.
Expressions brought to you by Valley Fudge and Candy. Find us in Coon Valley, Wisconsin, or order online today.
All right, cool the next 2 days, but 70s and yes, even 80s are coming. And next weekend overall looks dry, at least, maybe in the 80s too. So we'll see if that changes.
Okay, hopefully it doesn't. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.